students, and welcome back for Standard 8 General Science Digital class. Today we will begin with Chapter 6 Composition of Matter. What is matter? Anything that we see around us is matter, from the soil under our feet to the stars above. Matter makes up everything in the universe. So, what is matter? Anything that has mass and occupies space is called matter. Now, matter exists in four natural states: solids, liquids, gas, or plasma. In this class, we will learn solid, liquid, and gas. Plasma, you will learn in higher classes. Okay? Now, let's see the states of matter. An intermolecular force of attraction acts between the particles, that is, atoms or molecules of matter. The extent of the particle movement is determined by the strength of this force. Depending on the strength of this force, matter exists in solid state, liquid state, or gaseous state. So let's learn about solids. The particles of solid are very close to each other and vibrate at their fixed positions. Due to this, solids get properties like definite shape and volume, and also high density and non-compressibility. Liquids. The strength of intermolecular force is moderate in the liquid state, though it is not strong enough to fix the particles in definite position. It is strong enough to hold them together. As a result, liquids have definite volume, however, they have fluidity and their shape is not definite but changes in accordance with the container. Gas. The intermolecular force is very weak in gases. Therefore, the constituent particles of gases move freely and occupy all the available space. Consequently, gases have neither definite shape nor definite volume. Now, let's see the characteristics of states of matter. Solids. Solids have a definite shape, definite volume. They are either rigid, plastic, or elastic. Rigidity means the shape cannot be changed. Plasticity is the ability of certain solids to flow or to change shape when subject to stress. Elasticity enables a solid to return to its original shape after the load is removed. Solids have high density. They are non-compressible, strong intermolecular force, minimum distance between particles. Liquids. Moderate intermolecular force, moderate distance between the particles, indefinite shape. As we know, liquids do not have fixed shape. It takes the shape of the container in which it is kept. Definite volume, compressible to very small extent. Liquids are fluids, that is, it has the ability to flow. Gases, indefinite shape, indefinite volume. Gases are fluids, it can flow. They are highly compressible. Very weak intermolecular force, very large distance between particles. We have learned how the matter can be classified. Now we will learn a second method of classification of matter. See the table. Here we have name of the material, its chemical formula or composition, and the type of matter. First material is water. Its chemical composition or formula is H2O. It is a compound. Carbon, formula C, it's an element. Oxygen, formula O2, it's again an element. Air, air is a mixture of oxygen, nitrogen, water, argon and some other gases. So it is a mixture. Aluminium, formula Al, it's an element. Brass, it is a mixture of copper and zinc, so it is a mixture. Carbon dioxide, formula CO2, it's a compound. We have seen in the previous standard that matter is classified into three types: element, compound and mixture. By considering whether the smallest particle of matter are similar or different and what they are made of, all the smallest particles, that is atoms or molecules in an element or a compound, are alike. However, the smallest particles in a mixture are of two or more types. For example, in oxygen molecule, it contains two oxygen atoms in bonded state. Compound, for example, in water molecule, that is H2O, two hydrogen atoms are joined to one atom of oxygen. Hence, in water molecule, the smallest particle, that is molecule, is formed by joining two or more types of atoms to each other, that is hydrogen and oxygen. Mixture, example, air is a mixture. The main constituent molecules of air are nitrogen, oxygen, argon, H2O, that is water, carbon dioxide. Thus, the smallest particle of mixture are atoms, molecules of two or more elements or compounds. Now let's see the difference between element, compound and mixture. Let's see an example. Nitrogen molecule, that is N2, is an element. Nitrogen dioxide molecules, that is NO2. So it is formed by nitrogen and oxygen. So it is a compound. Mixture of N2 and NO2. Constituent substance of element is only one, and it is that element itself. Constituent substance of a compound is only one, and it is that compound itself. Constituent substance of a mixture are two or more elements and or compounds. All the atoms or molecules of an element are alike. All the molecules of a compound are alike. Atoms or molecules of a mixture are of two or more types. All the atoms in a molecule of an element are alike and are joined to each other by chemical bonds. The constituent atoms of a molecule of a compound are of two or more types and are joined to each other by chemical bonds. The constituent molecules of a mixture are different from each other and are not joined by chemical bonds. Atoms or molecules of different elements are different. The proportion of constituent element in a compound is constant. The proportion of constituent substance in a mixture can change. Properties of a compound are different from than those of the constituent elements. The properties of constituent substances are retained in the mixture. Do you know water a compound? Pure water is a compound formed by chemical combination of the elements hydrogen and oxygen. Whatever may be the source of water, the proportion of its constituent elements oxygen and hydrogen by weight is always 8:1. Hydrogen is an inflammable gas, while oxygen gas supports combustion. However, the compound water formed by chemical combination of the gaseous elements hydrogen and oxygen is a liquid. It is neither inflammable nor does it support combustion. On the contrary, it helps to extinguish fire. Thus, the property of water is different than those of the constituent elements oxygen and hydrogen. Milk, a mixture. Milk is a mixture of water, lactose, fats, protein, and a few more natural substances. The proportion of various ingredients of milk is different as per its source. The proportion of fats in cow milk is 3 to 5%, while it is 6 to 9% in buffalo milk. The ingredient water is naturally present in large proportion in milk. Therefore, milk exists in liquid state. The sweetness of milk is due to the ingredient called lactose. In other words, the properties of constituent substances, that is water, lactose, fats, protein, etc., are retained in milk. Types of elements. There are three types of elements. Metals. Metals have a shiny surface and it flattens on hammering. Example, sodium, iron. Non-metals have a dull surface and it breaks on hammering. Example, oxygen and chlorine. Metalloids. Metalloids exhibits the properties of metals as well as non-metals. They are found in solid state at room temperature. Example, boron, silicon, arsenic, etc. Types of compounds. There are three types of compounds: organic compounds or carbon compounds. Organic compounds are the compounds which in general contain carbon covalently bound to other atoms, especially carbon-carbon and carbon-hydrogen. Example, camphor, sugar, urea. Second type is inorganic compound. An inorganic compound is typically a chemical compound that lacks hydrogen-carbon bonds. That is a compound that is not organic compound. Example, common salt, limestone, etc. Last type of compound is complex compound. The molecules of compounds have a complex structure formed by many atoms, and in the center of this structure metal atoms are also included. For example, chlorophyll contains magnesium at its center. So chlorophyll is a complex compound. Types of mixtures. Homogeneous mixture. When all the components of a mixture form one phase, it is called homogeneous mixture. Example, air. Second type is heterogeneous mixture. When the components of a mixture are distributed into two or more phases, it is called a heterogeneous mixture. Example, sand and water. Solution. A homogeneous mixture of two or more substances is called solution. Example, salt solution. Solvent. The component of a solution which is present in largest proportion is called solvent. Solute. The other components which are in less proportion than the solvent are called solute. For example, in salt solution, water is present in more proportion. So, water is solvent, whereas salt is present in less proportion. So, salt is solute. Okay. The solutions are of different types, like solid in liquid. Example, seawater, sugar syrup. Liquid in liquid. Example, vinegar, dilute sulfuric acid. Gas in gas. Example, air. Solid in solid. Example, alloys like brass. Gas in liquid. Example, chlorinated water. Suspension. A suspension is a heterogeneous mixture of a liquid and a solid. The diameter of the solid particles in a suspension is larger than 10 raised to power -4 meter. Example, mixture of sawdust and water. Colloid. A mixture in which very small particles of one substance are distributed evenly throughout another substance. The particles are generally larger than those in a solution and smaller than in a suspension. Example, paints, milk, fog, etc. Let us understand compounds with an experiment. Take two evaporating dishes. Take 7 gram iron filings in the first dish and 4 grams sulfur in the second. Sulfur is yellow in color, whereas iron is black in color. Transfer the entire iron filings and sulfur in one dish. Stir it with a glass rod. Now observe by taking the horseshoe magnet near the matter. So, what will you observe? On testing the matter with horseshoe magnet, it was found that the resulting matter was a mixture of iron and sulfur and possessed properties of both the components. Now, heat the matter in second dish for a while and let it cool. Observe the color change and observe whether there is any effect of the horseshoe magnet. After heating, there was no effect of magnet on the matter, and the characteristic yellow color of sulfur also disappeared. From this, we understand that the matter formed after heating is different from the original components, that is, iron and sulfur. A chemical combination took place between iron and sulfur due to heating. The atom of iron and sulfur became joined by chemical bond to form molecules of a new compound. Now children, molecular formula and valency. There is a definite proportion of the constituent elements in a compound. Certain number of the atom of the constituent elements are joined to each other in a molecule of a compound. Molecular formula indicates the number of atom of each of the constituent elements present in one molecule of a compound. A molecular formula includes the information regarding the symbols of all the constituent elements and their respective number as subscripts. Now let's see a table to understand this better. Now here we have name of the compound, molecular formula, constituent elements, number of atoms of constituent elements. Now the first compound here is water. The molecular formula of water is H2O. So here the constituent elements are hydrogen and oxygen. We can see there is H2O, that is a subscript 2 is there with H. So this shows that number of atoms of constituent elements are 2 and 1, that is there are 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. Now let's see hydrogen chloride. Molecular formula is HCl. So the constituent elements are hydrogen and chlorine. We do not see any subscripts, that means both hydrogen and chlorine are present as 1 atom. Methane. Molecular formula CH4. Constituent elements are carbon and hydrogen. So number of atoms of constituent elements, you can see there is only 1 carbon atom and 4 hydrogen atoms. Magnesium chloride. Formula MgCl2. From this we can understand there is 1 magnesium atom and 2 chlorine atom. So the subscript 2 shows that 2 chlorine atoms are present in magnesium chloride. Now let's see the definition of molecular formula. A molecular formula includes the information regarding the symbols of all the constituent elements and their respective number as subscripts. Valency is the combining capacity of an element, the number of bonds that an atom can form as part of a compound is expressed by the valency of the element. Now let's see the cross multiplication method for writing the molecular formula of simple compounds. So we will see the steps for writing the molecular formula. So step 1 is to write symbols of constituent elements. For example, if we want to find the molecular formula of carbon dioxide, so here the constituent elements are carbon and oxygen. Symbol of carbon is C and oxygen is O. So here in step 1 we will first write the symbols of constituent elements, as you can see. Step 2, to write the valency below the respective element. Now the valency of carbon is 4 and oxygen is 2. So we will write down their respective valency below the element.
Step 3. To cross multiply to obtain the number of atoms of the constituent elements in the molecule of a compound. So here 2 is multiplied to carbon atom and 4 is multiplied to oxygen atom. Step 4. To write the formula of the compound obtained by cross multiplication. So here after cross multiplication we will get C2O4. Step 5. To write the final molecular formula of the compound, the number of constituent atoms in the final molecular formula should be the smallest possible whole numbers. For getting this, divide the formula obtained in step 4 by a suitable number. Formula obtained by cross multiplication was C2O4. So dividing this by 2, the final molecular formula obtained after division is CO2. Today we have learned states of matter, characteristics of states of matter, elements, compounds, mixtures, their types, the types of mixtures, molecular formula and valency, and the cross multiplication method for writing the molecular formula of simple compounds. Now students, you will write the characteristics of solid, liquid and gas. Also, you will write the tables given on page number 40, 41 and 45 in your notebook. Hope you have understood the chapter composition of matter. Thank you.